Why do you think it's important then for organisations to do that right now? You know, why do you think they need to communicate about what they're doing in this kind of area, this space?
Well, there's a number of, I guess, factors that kind of come together to bring almost a bit of a perfect storm for businesses in particular. So there are legislative requirements, and we are seeing it. Obviously, there is a little bit of change that has happened recently over the past 6 to 8 months. But the general trajectory is that there are growing requirements from a legislative point of view that's happening globally.
Yeah.
The challenge there is that what might be happening in Europe may well be different to what's happening in Japan, to Australia, to China, to the US. And if you are a global business, and most of the clients from the business side that we work with are global corporates, how do you navigate and understand the complexity of that legislative environment and ensure that you are bringing all of that to bear when you're a global organisation, how that aligns with your strategy? So I think that's one major force and factor that is enabling businesses to really think seriously about what their strategic plan is for their environmental impact.
Okay.
I think there's another force at work, which is much more within the consumer space. And we are seeing more and more consumers demanding and expecting from the brands that they purchase from that those brands do the right thing. And that means they're doing the right thing when it comes to yes, people and how they govern their organisation. So that S and that G that we spoke about around ESG.
Yeah.
Also about the environmental impact that they have. So, are the trainers that I buy, going to have been made using, responsible materials? Has there been thought that's been put into how we transport those products? What is the carbon footprint of these? And I think consumers are much more aware these days than ever before, and rightly more and more are demanding that those businesses are much more thoughtful and are having a plan to sort of manage that carbon footprint. So I think that's another key factor that is kind of driving this change. And there are also the kind of long-term sustainability benefit that you mentioned, but in the terms of what is the long-term viability of a business, and being aware of the resources and the products that you use and the supply chain that you use in order to build your products in the first place. Some of those supply chains may well be at risk in the future due to climate risk.
Yeah.
And so being aware of what that looks like and being able to plan for that is also another factor that is driving, I think, businesses to think seriously about their environmental impact.
Yeah, it's minimising their risk.